Hi all you boys and girls, Mark, Centerline Systems, back here in the Mad Scientist Dojo on a snowy Sunday. And as always, I really don't know what exactly I'm going to do. I don't have scripts for any of these if you haven't already noticed. But what we are going to attempt to do is do a loadout video for our new puck pouch. So we'll do a little woo something here, and then we'll be back in a second to go over our new product. All right, stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. I'm not sure what kind of little crazy little intro outro thing we got going on there, but we'll try to keep it entertaining. Hopefully something a little Christmassy, because we are getting close to Christmas, and no joke, it really is snowing outside, so it's really awesome and beautiful. Northern Minnesota, baby, you gotta love it. Otherwise, you should be living someplace else. All right, so here we go. These are never all inclusive, right? These loadout videos. The ultimate goal here is twofold on my part. One, to do another video introducing the puck pouch to all you great freedom-loving kids, and then also to give you some ideas. And you can see I got a bunch of gear in front of me on the table, but just to give you some ideas and some like, hey, if that fits, well then this other thing should fit if it's smaller. That kind of stuff, and just to kind of get your creative juices going as well. So as we kind of get going here, I'm just going to show you a couple that we just kind of prepared. We had to do our timing run, and everything good back there? Okay, I just had a little potential, almost technical difficulty. All of a sudden somebody's messing with the camera, and that never happened, so I was like, what's that all about? But we also had to make a couple of these just recently so we can get them to Messenger Photography, so we can get some pictures up on the website. Matter of fact, there you go. By the time this video is out, these should be on the website in all of our different patterns. But here's just a couple ones for you to look at here. So this is multicam black with coyote brown. That actually looks pretty cool. And then we've got the black widow kind of classic, which is wolf gray with black and red stitching. And I guess a little insider, I am going to bring some wolf gray back next year. There's enough people who keep asking about it, and I am almost out of the extra that I had from before. So I definitely we'll do a limited run of wolf gray in all products next year. If you are interested in wolf gray, I still do have material to make some products, just not all of them. So give me a call, shoot me an email. And of course, the always lovely multicam classic. And then the one we'll use here for today's video, because I think they come out a little bit better, the color for the videos. Ranger green with coyote brown. Okay, so we've already had one video out on the puck pouch. Let me put my eyeballs on. And so clearly it's named the puck pouch because the concept was a sharpening puck and also kind of the survival tin. So we're going to kind of start right there, and then I'm just going to progress through a variety of other items. And let's see if this gets your creative juices going. So puck pouch, do I need to redo it? This might be carrying your most mission critical items. So you don't want this to be easy on and easy off, in my opinion. Also, in my opinion, I think running a belt through some belt loops is still pretty damn easy to get on and off. But so no snaps, it's belt loop on the back, Velcro closure on the front. We did a slightly different design angle up here because of how that is coming across, and knowing that you might have a hoodie over there, and also so you can grab it a little bit easier and open it back up. All right, then we've got our rubberized material on the inside, which is going to help protect the longevity, or it's going to help reduce wear of the inside of the material. Even though this is great, no joke Kadura brand 500 denier Kadura. If you're putting a brace of materials in there constantly in and out, you're going to be abrading. See what I did there? I didn't actually even plan that. If you haven't noticed from some of these videos, like, I'm pretty stupid, but my sense of humor is pretty stupid. All right, so standard puck pouch. All right, so obviously it's designed for a puck pouch, but then for a wide variety of other items that could go in here. So for example, let's just say that this was a small container that you might want to have like some honing, some oil for use with sharpening, your blade or whatever the case is going on your puck, right? So that's kind of what it's designed around right there. All right, good on that one? All right, so it's designed to have that as the basis, but as we'll see here in a second, of course, there's a million other items that, actually, let me move this over here, a million other items that are going to fit inside of here. So, you know, if it fits a puck, well, of course it should fit a USGI Lensatic compass or any other style compass that's out there. A small little thing I want to point out for the loadout is, you know, use the belt loops in the back as also your dummy cord location, right? So if I had this compass, or if this was a GPS or whatever it was that I was carrying in this pouch, and if it was a piece of gear that I did not want to lose, just run the lanyard or some 550 cord to your device, run it back through the loop. I know everybody knows how to do this, but I just felt like I had to do it all of a sudden. You know, run it through there, go back around your item. There it is, dummy corded and secured. So even if for some weird reason this did fall out of the pocket, or you forgot about it, well, you would just be dragging this along. And I would hope that that would like somehow get your brain housing group spinning, saying, hey, what is that I'm dragging behind, or, you know, behind me, right? And so there you go, Lensatic compass, as I just said. Get this off real quickly, move him off to the side. Survival tins. Now, I've got 3 different survival tins in here. I guess I'm not going to go into the content of the survival tins. We could do that as a small side note, or a small, one of the shorts sometimes. Just kind of like, here, what are some things that you can put inside of your survival tins? But of course, you know, it's going to fit a survival tin, but it'll fit more than just the survival tin. So, and you can put that either in a horizontal or in a vertical configuration. So the one I carry on my body, I actually have a survival tin, but I carry it vertically, and then in front of that, I use that space, and that's where I put a couple smaller containers that either have, like, you know, my no joke, never want to be out meds, or if well, now that I've got more of these, I'm going to actually start moving my meds to their own pocket, and I'll show that in a second. But then I've got my lighter and my space pen and that kind of stuff up in the front right there, and that keeps it nice and secured. All right, so survival tins. Obviously, a survival tin's going to fit in here, but if you run it, and no matter which way you run it, whether you run it vertically, you still have room off to the side, and if you run it horizontally, right, you still have room up on the top. And I think in the previous video I mentioned, like, you know, nitrile gloves. So let's say this was your small emergency medical kit. Well, look, you could easily then just take a thing of nitrile gloves and set it over the top, and easily closes nice and flush, and you've got all that room. So survival tins. Now, there are a bunch of different tins out there, and I think we talked about this before. This is a German company. This is like a caffeinated chocolate. They make a couple different versions of this. This is actually a little bit larger, and I should have brought it with me, than the small cases that you get for pellet guns, for 177s, but that will fit in there. So this is actually a good, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back a second. Because there are different size stones, as you well know, right? So smaller stones, and then there's larger stones, right? So if this was the larger size stone, and if you had a question, so there you can see, you'll be able to fit both size stones, or a different style survival tin if that's what you want to use, right? Here's maybe a question that'll come up. So this is your standard military first aid, you know, kit, right? That's all this is. So if you'll see here, now this is in its packaging, so I can easily get it in a vertical configuration. And so just to give you a sense of the size, right? So if I just fold that packaging up a little bit, because there is a lot of packaging on this. I can put it in the horizontal position as well, right? So now that's a little bit of a tighter fit, but just like I said before, if I was gonna make this in just my rudimentary bare bones first aid kit, I still could slide all kinds of little packets of cell locks back here. I could still get my nitrile gloves up on the top, right? That's all coming through. So the standard military first aid kit fits in there, and that's actually, if you are looking for a reference, this is a really good size, right? So that's a really good size reference right there. Some other items that fit, and I'm just going to give them to you for some references. So this is a Leatherman Surge. So this is just a little bit too wide for a horizontal on the Leatherman, but it will definitely go vertical. So going back to the tin, I could actually get a tin in here, the Leatherman in here, in a vertical configuration. And then that still folds over. The Leatherman sticks up just a little bit more, but you can see that fits in there. So that's the Leatherman Surge. And this is a larger, meatier one. So, you know, this isn't mine. This is Big Spoons, who apparently needs a big Leatherman. But that fits in there. Here's something I did want to point out. So I know there's all kinds of different rangefinders out there. And they, you know, obviously come in different sizes. So this right here is Leopold, no, who is this? Vortex. Yeah, this is a Vortex, Vortex Ranger. So because of the lens cap, so that fits in there just nicely. That lens cap makes it a little bit of a pain in the ass just on the push, right? But that's another size reference right there. So if you've got a rangefinder that's smaller than this, you know, and you can see that lens cap just makes it a little bit of a pain in the butt. So if I was actually bow hunting and if I had my rangefinder in here, I would actually go in a horizontal, not in a vertical. That lens cap can smush a little bit better that way. If you go horizontally, correction, I would rather run it a vertical, not horizontal. Horizontal, it was tight. It'll fit, but it's a little tight, whereas in the vertical configuration, it fits in there a lot better. Vortex Ranger right there on that guy. Here's just a couple of other items that you might want to think about putting in here. So again, if you're running a first aid kit in here, you know, whatever your tin is, you might want to have, you know, just a sharpening tool for, you know, your regular knife. So you can see that will fit in there, you know, both vertically. Now when we get into the horizontal, you know, it is a little bit tight, but it'll just find its own way. So it depends on what you're throwing in there, but that's in there right now, and it's easy. It's still very easy to get in and out. And this is one of the larger Landskis, so you know there's smaller versions of these out there too. But wanted you guys to see that. Another reference. I'm just gonna leave that tin there. Flashlights. So here's where it becomes difficult. There's just so many dang flashlights out there, right? So use these other references because I don't know what size pocket flashlight you're carrying. You know, we had one out earlier and it's actually, well, that's not really a pocket flashlight. That's almost like a Kubotan or an Aspeton size, you know, flashlight. So to me, little pocket flashlights are these type of things, you know, and obviously, you know, that guy would stick in there. And I just threw one of these little pull tabs on so I could just get that in and out of my pocket a lot easier. So smaller flashlights definitely fit, you know, just got to be careful. Medical, kind of moving over to some of these other little pouches. This is a snake bite kit. Right? So if you live in that part of the world where you've got to worry about snakes, and God bless you, because I hate snakes, so you can have them. But little snake bite kit, that obviously, you know, let's see, that yellow might show up. You still have room to spare, so I could have the snake bite kit in here, and I could still have material on top if I wanted to go back to those nitro gloves as another example. All right, snake bite kit. So we've got a bunch of different little medical vials in front of me and a match kit, right? So these guys are abundant. They're all over the place out there. There's all kinds of different match, waterproof match containers. So again, that'll fit either both in the horizontal or the vertical configuration. And if it was going vertically, here, let's just do this because I haven't done this yet. So there's a match giant. That's a pretty good size survival match kit. Here's just a little pill case. That guy's in there. And then here's another little pill case. So there you go. 3 pill cases, that's showing up. I'm getting the nod. All right, so that gives you a sense. And like I said, you know, there's all kinds of different versions of pill cases out there. You know, these are, I actually have 2 different sizes for you to kind of look at. And then again, this is a really large size, you know, that's, you know, well over a quarter. You know, that's getting closer to silver, you know, $50 size, right? And that guy fits in there very easily. Okay, let's kind of go over some other stuff. Well, obviously, this probably should have been out like with the compass, but you know, why wouldn't you carry a whistle, right? It's an emergency signaling technique. And then again, whether you just had it plopped in here inside of a survival tin, or, you know, I guess I had it out there thinking I was going to do another one of the dummy cord, you know, kind of just showing you just dummy corded around there. And then, you know, you could always just grab it, have that dummy cord be a little loose, and then just kind of pull it right out, and there it is. And then the dummy cord gives you the ability to just kind of lean down a tad bit, blow the whistle, and you don't lose it. Because if it was a survival situation that you were concerned about, you know, having a really good emergency whistle would be worthwhile. So I guess they're kind of like breaking it out into, if I was going to do it as a signal kit, right? If this was going to be my emergency signal. So this is a good, you know, military, no joke, military issue signal mirror. So I just wanted to kind of point that out. Obviously, that's going to fit in there. And I could have the whistle, I could have, you know, emergency fire, you know, because fire could be part of my signal kit. And I still have tons of room in there to put, whether it's a small little boo-boo kit. So this is one of the ones that Black Scout Survival pushes out. Oh, matter of fact, there you go, Jack. What's up? All right, so yeah, so that could still fit in here too, and I could put other items in here, like, so here we go into this kind of thing. So let's just say I was gonna make this a signals kit. All right, so I'll pull this guy off to the side. This is a little survival saw, right? Maybe I need the survival saw to cut down some branches so I can build a fire, because I'm gonna use that as an emergency signal, right? So I could have that guy in here, both either vertically or horizontally. So right now I've got a survival saw, a survival match kit, a military signal mirror, and then, you know, let's just say whatever this was, right? So right now this is just some like reference material for, you know, one of them's tying knots, one's a little survival guide, but then, you know, I've got my handy dandy little Fresnel lens there that I can also use for starting fire. And so if I repackage this a little bit differently, yeah, let's just kind of have a little fun. Let's see how much of this stuff I can get in here. All right. Oh, heck yeah. So there, given what I'm just experimenting with, I probably would do this, I would package this a little differently if I was going to make this into my own personal emergency fire and signals kit. Because now, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but you know, I've got depth there, so I would probably run this guy. There it is right there. That's how I would do it. And then I would close her on up. And there it is. Now everything's nice and compact, and it's all in that unit that's on my body. So if I get separated from my rucksack or my campsite, or you know, Sasquatch is chasing me through the woods, I still have a chance to signal, start a fire, warm myself, eat some food, squirrel. All right, a couple other little things. Let's empty this out. Yeah, honestly, and I hadn't done that. That wasn't part of the plan here, and all that stuff went in there really easily, and I actually still have more room. Matter of fact, maybe I would just do a different emergency match kit. Maybe I would actually just put it into a food saver type of bag or something like that, and then I would have had even more room to put even more stuff in there, like the snake bite kit, because I hate snakes, as I already mentioned. No snakes. Okay, get that stuff out of the side. And then now some other things that you might not be thinking of, or maybe you have been thinking about it. 12 gauge or any type of shotgun shells. So these are, this is not a real 12 gauge shell. This is a little signal shell, like, you know, for a 12 gauge emergency signal. But another thing that we kind of haven't done is let's just kind of see how many of those fit in there, right? So, but I'm using this because that's, you know, if that was a real 12 gauge thing, that's a tall 12 gauge. That's like, I don't know, all the, what is that, 3 1/4 is at the tallest? Yeah, it's something like that. But if you're a 12 gauge aficionado, you know what I'm talking about. I know 2 3/4, 3 and 3 1/2, or is it 3 3/4? So I've got 4 of those in there. And then I just got a bunch of training shotgun shells just for training use. These are a little bit smaller ones. So right there I have 5 in there. I could probably get, if you look at this, and I should try this and confirm it, I bet I could get 10 shotgun shells in there. 8 for sure, maybe 10. I think a dozen would be pushing it, but I almost 100% guarantee I could get 8 to 10 shotgun shells in here. So that's pretty cool, and I actually hadn't thought about that until we actually were getting set up for this video here today. So yeah, whether you got again, if this was your emergency signal, for example, let's say you're out hunting. There's a great little plug right there. If I was going out hunting, so I already have my shotgun, maybe I have this, you know, the puck pouch loaded up like we just did a second ago for my emergency fire, my emergency signal, and maybe I throw 1 or 2 of these things in there, right? Because as I said, I would have had more room if I would have given up this case and then just taken some of these matches and the striker, put it into a vacuum seal bag. I would have had a lot more room. I could have probably put 2 of these things right on the top, and then I would have had a really robust both fire and signals kit right there. Yeah, that was pretty good right there on the fly. And then finally, something that you might not be thinking about, but that we've been talking about here amongst ourselves recently is, and we'll do another video on a different technique. I'm not going to give everything away, but so I don't know what type of phone you have. So my phone just broke because I'm an idiot, and my gross motor skills when it comes to my phone apparently don't work very well. And it was just all shattered and stuff. So I ended up getting a new phone finally for the first time in a long time. And so this is one of those little flip phones, but that fits in there perfectly. Now I'm not saying that that's how you would walk around, but I can easily put the flip phone in there, and I can put my little earbud case right on top of it. And there it is, right? So just kind of another little thing, just at the last second here, we were thinking about it. I'm like, oh, you know, I bet all that stuff fits in there just perfectly. And, you know, they are little different designs and, you know, all these little earbuds and the phones. So, you know, you're obviously not going to get a giant phone in there. It wouldn't work that way. But if you know these phones and if you know this dimension, this is just another reference point that can go inside of the puck pouch. All right, I think that is going to wrap it up. I really like this thing. I know it sounds stupid and I really shouldn't say it because, you know, well, yeah, you like it. You're the guy who makes it. I've been wearing mine for like, I don't know, what has it been? 3 weeks, a month now. And I don't even know it's there half the time. Somebody made a comment about like, well, Batman lost one of his pouches, you know, in the summer of 60, whatever it was. That was pretty funny, by the way. But this is never coming off unless I intentionally take it off or it's ripped off my body again by like a grizzly bear or something crazy like that. But it's so comfortable, and, you know, not to whine about my back, but, you know, some of you know that, you know, because I've kind of talked about it once or twice, but I'm trying to, like, you know, wear the stuff along my waist differently because of my back. And, you know, so when I'm driving, where I'm seated, it's just really comfortable. So that's, I guess, the kind of my little stupid plug. I'm really liking it. I don't even know it's there half the time. And I've got issues where, like, you know, I know stuff's back there, you know, or I know my back is hurting, but this isn't adding to that whatsoever. So I really like it. I really hope you guys are going to enjoy it as well. And as always, if you've got questions, comments, you know, bitches, complaints, whatever, you know the deal. Reach out, shoot me an email, give me a phone call, text message. You know, just got to do one last little plug. I'm not the greatest on the direct messages via Instagram, but I will get back to you. So, you know, keep those coming as well. But anyway, reach out in whatever manner suits you, and I will do the best I can to help you out. All right. I think that kind of covers it, right? All right. I think that's it. All right, you guys, be good. Woo!